Tonight, Senate collaborates with stakeholders on blockchain technology, plus House of Representatives steps in to safeguard the integrity of Nigeria's education system. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News, reaching you from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Amina Saidu. Senate is collaborating with stakeholders to consolidate Nigeria's position as the second world largest and major blockchain technology hub in Africa. While interacting with operators in the industry, the Senate Committee on Capital Markets noted that Nigeria could leverage potentials in the blockchain technology industry by having in place a legal framework to achieve federal government's vision of $1 trillion economy by 2030.
This is the first time that this country have accepted digital asset as one of the instruments in our country. And we will also take advantage of the fact that Nigeria is number one in Africa with over 60%.
When the blockchain technology is fully operational, as we are proposing in Nigeria, there will be a lot of advantages. It will deepen the capital market.
To do virtual business and so on and so forth, there is need to guide the Nigerian public.
As the world moves to Web3, that is the third generation of internet where users are in control of their own data and interactions become private without intermediaries, operators are advocating policy frameworks that are supportive for improved contribution to the economy.
With such structures and frameworks, we are signaling to the world that we have positioned ourselves as a robust and expanded world-class financial capital market.
The blockchain technology encompasses cryptocurrency, supply chain management, and security management of data, among others. To speak further on the necessity for a legal framework for the blockchain industry, we have with us Senator Victor Ome, a member of the Senate Committee on Capital Markets. Thank you for joining us. Now, looking at the place of Nigeria as a growing economy, how can it leverage this technology for efficiency across sectors?
Blockchain technology is simply an advanced database mechanism with which to share information in a business network. In other words, the blockchain thrives on data. Data, secondary, primary. Data, they may not be the people that generated them. So they need to queue into those data and get information they need to be able to provide the necessary linkages in business, And for people to say that they are operators in the blockchain industry, you must be able to verify them. Hacking of data has been a very serious challenge on online businesses and transactions all over the world. So if people want to offer their services and placing heavy reliance on data generated by other people, you must be very careful the way they access that data. There are data protection laws, which we have privacy laws and all that, that will prohibit any group to get into a secure data, and begin to use it to apply their business. So that's why when they came and they described themselves as operators in the blockchain industry, wanted to find out whether they are being regulated by anybody. They said they are self-regulatory. The association is self-regulatory. So people just come together and style themselves as operators in the blockchain industry. It cannot be tolerated. There must be a way to verify and authenticate and operators so that the public will have the necessary confidence to go through them and do business, digital transactions. So that is the essence of our interrogation today. And they have seen that they need to get, first of all, properly recognized National Information Technology Development Agency. We have the National Identity Management Commission. These are organizations that generate data of all kinds, which people can use to do their businesses. We have the NIBs, which they use in the banking sector to authenticate transactions, money transfers, and all kinds of things. So at this digital age, Nigeria has to be sure that anybody operating in that industry must be certified, one, verified as well, to be able to give them access to information that are private information, So we've advised them on what to do, because obviously they have not been registered. They said they're self-regulated. You can't regulate yourself.
How can we make effective use of existing laws to protect Nigerians?
Nigeria is a very big market in terms of size, in terms of our GDP, in terms of size and population. So it is therefore positioned to play a leading role in the economic development of Africa. Apart from that, the country is richly endowed with abundant natural resources, both crude oil and solid minerals. Because of the size of the population of this country, the country has a very big market of interest, both locally and by the international organizations. Therefore, our economic activities are very robust. We are growing in a manner that we have become part of the global community. So what is happening globally, economically, rubs on Nigeria. And when the world is in a digital stage. So most things are now done via the internet, online businesses, and et cetera, and et cetera. So because of the several openings that the economy is being subjected to through the activities of people in different diverse areas of business, regulation will become a necessity, so that whoever is plying any trade will have to have the necessary registration, particularly in a digital economy. The capital market is digitalized, so forth. Therefore, anybody who will render any service, like cryptocurrency, will need to be known. We have to know who the person is. The identity of the person must be known, and there must be certification before people will go into a line of business in order to have public confidence in it. Remember the cryptocurrency crisis we had, going forth and back. There was a company, CBEX, that was even also taken to court. Nigeria is a very pliable population, where people go to the internet, surf, see something, and begin to place orders for them. You go, online shopping is now in vogue. So people go online to place orders for goods and services. Most of the time, the people who are advertising goods and services are not known. They go to the internet, go on Facebook, and promote their products. And many people run in. A lot of health solutions are advertised online, and as soon as you click on it, they take you through the kind of maybe health problem you are going through, and they land you where you pay them money, so that they will supply you their medications and all that. A lot of people have been swindled in that way. So you place orders online, pay money, and the goods will not come to you. So anytime you hear digital business network, you must be wary, you must be sure who the person is because people can just swindle you and disappear to the thin air.
Thank you for your contributions. The news continues. In a bid to safeguard the integrity of Nigeria's education sector in the Committee of Nations, the House of Representatives Joint Committee on Certificate Racketeering has engaged the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, in the ongoing investigation of questionable certificates. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that the engagement is ahead of similar investigative visits to some selected federal and state certificate awarding institutions in Nigeria.
This is the second time the Joint Committee is engaging the Minister of Foreign Affairs within the space of 3 months as one of the accused ministries whose staff are allegedly involved in the fake certificates matter. This trend, the committee says, is a serious threat to the Nigeria's bilateral relations with foreign countries.
There are so many loopholes that we are overlooking in Nigeria. For a document to come back from Ministry of Education to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and you find out that the signature there was yours, forged. You're supposed to trace how that document came about, so that somebody should be apprehended and prosecuted.
Promoting the image of this country is your responsibility. So somebody that has a fake degree, maybe he may be a doctor, an engineer. So look at how buildings are collapsing in some of the African countries, even abroad. What was the problem? It's about education, fake certificate.
We look forward to your candid insights and contributions on and that of your officials. As a committee, we are determined to ensure that this engagement produces a roadmap to practical reforms. We must together stem this tide of academic fraud, protect our youth from exploitation, and uphold Nigeria's credibility.
Our own work entails protecting Nigeria's image, and it's very important that this sort of dubious certificates do not find their way back into Nigeria and then, become a source of embarrassment and tarnishing the image of Nigeria.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga assured the committee of his Benin Republic's counterpart readiness to support the committee in carrying out its investigation. The oversight visit continues with other MDAs. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
We now pause for some messages. Stay with us.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
You're welcome back. The strength of the nation lies on how it treats its youths, hence the urgency in responding to the basic challenges of the Nigerian youths. According to the State of the Nigerian Youths report carried across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, the interface between youth groups and the House of Representatives Committee on Youth in Parliament held in commemoration of the International Youth Day 2025. We now join Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide for more.
I have here with me some of the stakeholders who spoke extensively about the deliberation during the dialogue, especially as it concerns the survey, what are the challenges and the recommendation. I have here with me your name.
My name is HMB Abba, and I work for ActionAid Nigeria as a global platform trainer, a platform for young people where we build capacity and the strength, collective power actually of young people.
What's the statistics like?
Okay, just in terms of the background, in April, in commemoration of the International Youth Day, we carried out a survey which we titled We Listen Survey, just to capture the voices of young people, their lived realities, their lived experiences, as a way of, okay, the state of the nation. Currently, what are those experiences they have and what are those priorities that they prioritize in order for the government, duty bearers in general to respond to. So majorly we had responses from across the country, about 314 responses covered across Nigeria, and the key issues that really stood out were, or key challenges really that stood out for young people were unemployment, underemployment. We also, security came out really big, insecurity in the land, kidnapping, and this serves as barriers in preventing young people from reaching their full potential. And also majorly was access to quality education, so especially those from the grassroots communities, which are our constituents. That's what we focus on. Young people living in remote and hard-to-reach communities. Access to quality education really came out big for them in their responses. So going forward, as the government, can we see how we can reach out to these communities, how we can provide basic infrastructure and education for these communities.
Thank you very much. To speak more on the challenges, I have another stakeholder.
Good. Yeah, I'm Dr. Helen Idiong. I'm the Director of Programs with Plan International Nigeria. So, like my colleague from ActionAid has said, we participated in that survey. And it's heartbreaking to see that most of the youth complained about non-responsiveness of government to issues that has to do with the youth. They also complained about inaccessibility to quality education. Other complaints had to do with lack of vocational training. One of them even said there's no reason for people to go to school again, because they go to school, they come out, they go for youth service, and then come back to the communities and still go to the farm like others who didn't go to school. So the youth have been very passionate about having not just quality education, but employment and entrepreneurial support after that, even if it's just vocational skills. So those are some of the things that have come out. And then across board, they've also complained about lack of infrastructure to help them. Some of them would have wanted to do other things, but there's no electricity, the road is bad. Even the schools that they go, what kind of schools do they attend? So these are some of the complaints that we have seen that has come out clearly from the report. Then a major thing has been issues around insecurity, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, kidnapping, banditry. It's something that has affected the youth, and because of that, many have gone out of the country. Issues also around health, inaccessibility to health facilities. Like someone said, it's like a ratio of one doctor to like 100,000 patients or 10,000 patients. So even those that want to go to the health facility, they consider how much time they're going to wait there. And then when they go, are the health facilities youth-friendly?
Thank you very much. And lastly, I have someone here representing persons with disabilities. Should be talking about the recommendation as part of the deliberation for today. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. As I said, my names are Fauzia Mohammed Lukman and the representative of persons with disabilities. As for the recommendation, we would like for the government to look into accessibility, especially for persons with disabilities, promote health care. We learned that the president has just approved national insurance for the nation entirely. We would like for the persons with disability to be exclusively included. It is by our right. And then we would like for them to tackle the job creation of protective job creation, health facilities, accessibilities, high rate of living, and then education. We would really love for the government to look into that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's it from here. Back to you in the studio.
In the face of growing regional security threats from violent extremism to political instability, ECOWAS and the armed forces is prioritizing youth engagement as a strategic pillar for peace and enhanced regional security. This was a message of the Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa to the West African Civil Military Symposium to commemorate ECOWAS at 50. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
With over 60% of West Africa's population under the age of 25, the youth represents not only the most vulnerable demographic to recruit by extremist groups, but also the most powerful force for positive change. One of such youth is Donald Chinedu, a student of International Relations Bayes University and an advocate of youth positively channeling their energy to productive use.
Youth shouldn't be shy, they should be up and doing, they shouldn't just sit at home and lazy about.
We need to have a strategic engagement that will galvanize youth participation in this renewed vision, commitment, and dedication of the ECOWAS platform.
Youth must be integrated into election monitoring missions, becoming watchdogs of democracy. We must build a digital ECOWAS youth peace portal where young people share early warning data.
By empowering young people through training, mentorship, and inclusion in decision making, we can foster a generation that views security not as the business of soldiers alone, but as a collective civic duty.
When youth feels alienated, they become vulnerable to violent extremist recruitment. Inclusion fosters trust and resilience.
This gathering, therefore, is to move beyond rhetoric and establish a comprehensive regional framework that empowers young people through education, entrepreneurship, civic engagement, and direct participation in peace-building process. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And in Ogun State, the State House of Assembly has called for the immediate intervention of the state government and security agencies to address security concern brewing up in Irokun Community, Ogun Waterside local government area over planned installation of traditional ruler from neighboring Ondo State and the Ogun State community. Speaker of the House, Oludaise Elemide, made the call during an interagency engagement with stakeholders held at the Assembly Complex, Okemosan, Abeokuta. Correspondent Yemidalemo has more.
Irokun is a border community between Ogun and Ondo State in Ogun Waterside State constituency. Before now, there have been several attempts by the neighboring state to claim the community, which by all evidence, including land documentation and historical facts, remains part of Ogun State. The stakeholders' engagement is thus to seek immediate deployment of more security personnel to the area and advocate physical infrastructural development projects to the border communities to further take charge of the areas so as to ward off unwarranted incursion by the boundary communities like Irokun.
The land belongs to Ogun State, and the king is enthroned by Ogun State. So they are now saying we should wait in to see that such anomaly, such aberration, and such taboo should not be allowed or entertained.
At the meeting with the stakeholders, including the State Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, representatives of the State Boundary Commission and State Surveyor General, traditional rulers, and Commissioner of Police, Speaker of Ogun State House of Assembly, the gathering agreed that efforts should be made at preventing installation of traditional ruler from neighboring states on the Ogun State land, as such could threaten the existing peace in the boundary communities.
The Irokun land that we are talking about belongs to Ogun State. Either geographically, sir, historically, or otherwise, it belongs to Ogun State. Even the office of the Olorokun of Irokun in the Gazette is Ogun State.
Mr. Speaker, what we are here for, I believe very strongly, is solution. And One of the solutions that I would prefer is, one, the issue of security. Two, we need to make infrastructure available in that area so that those people in that community will feel the presence of government, at least in the state.
So our prayer to the government right now is that the government should take firm ownership of all its boundary lands, especially Irokun, where there is trouble now. We have similar thing in Emakun, we have similar thing in Odeomi, all our boundary area, even in Itebu.
We've registered our complaint, and then we are employing the government to please do something immediately, so that all this illegal something will not happen in our area. So we are pleading to them.
Regional ruler of Abigi and Onirokun of Irokun, while appreciating the state government for their various interventions in the past, appealed that more infrastructural development in the area will ward off invaders. The Speaker of Ogun State House of Assembly and the gathering therefore called on security agencies to make their presence more visible in the area, as well as government to make their presence to be more felt in the community. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
The Kano State House of Assembly has adopted 10 motions aimed at boosting infrastructural development across various parts of the state. Samira Hamisu Shira reports that improved healthcare delivery was a major highlight of the deliberations during the plenary.
It was a plenary dominated by requests and secondments by the lawmakers, each struggling to deliver their constitutional mandate. Provision of primary healthcare facilities was centered upon. Hafiz Gambo presented a request for the upgrade of Bunkura Primary Healthcare to the status of a general hospital. His counterpart from Karai, Ahmad Ibrahim, also proposed the construction of new primary healthcare facility at Zango. For Abdullahi Yahya, his proposal focused on the renovation and fencing of Government Girls College Gizawa, while Ali Muhammad of BBG called on the state government to renovate Kaswar and Kifi at Dakatsalli. Meanwhile, Yusuf Ali Daneji urged the state government to construct a bridge that links Yakasai B to Jawala GSM market. Lawmakers that presented the plights of their communities during the plenary include Garbashi Hufamar of Kibia and Salah Ahmed Marki of the Wakin Tufa, all centered on provision of roads linking different parts of their constituency, an effort aimed at emancipating the plight of the electorate, especially during the raining season. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisu Shera, NTA News.
That is the size of our bulletin. Do enjoy the rest of our programs. For more updates, follow us on our social media handles displayed on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Amina Said.